Detroit is a city forged in steel, sweat, and survival. While the world remembers the bad boys and the blue-collar grit of the Motor City, they overlook the towering financial empires built off its hardwood. We are stepping beyond the locker room to uncover the richest black NBA players deeply tied to Detroit. These aren't just retired athletes. They are venture capitalists, automotive tycoons, and real estate moguls who own the boardroom. Stick around for number 1, a former bench player who quietly built a $3 billion manufacturing monopoly. Number 8. Derrick Coleman. When analyzing the intersection of professional sports and urban economic revitalization, Derrick Coleman's financial trajectory serves as a profound case study in resilience and strategic reallocation. Born in Mobile, Alabama, but raised in the rugged environment of Detroit, Coleman became a local legend before eventually being selected as the #1 overall pick in the 1990 NBA draft. During his playing career, he secured massive contracts, earning over $90 million in raw salary. However, the true narrative of Coleman's wealth is not found in his 1990s rookie deals, but in his aggressive post-career pivot into Detroit real estate development. Following a highly publicized period of financial turbulence, a common pitfall for athletes navigating the complex transition from sudden wealth to sustained asset management, Coleman completely re-engineered his approach to capital. He did not retreat from the business world. He doubled down on the very city that raised him. Coleman transformed himself into a formidable commercial real estate developer, specifically focusing on inner-city Detroit neighborhoods that traditional institutional investors had long abandoned. The mechanics of his wealth generation shifted from highly taxed athletic income to equity-heavy real estate holdings. He established Coleman A. Young Plaza in Detroit, anchoring local businesses and providing essential commercial infrastructure in underserved zones. By aggressively purchasing strip malls, residential blocks, and commercial lots during Detroit's most economically depressed periods, Coleman utilized the classic investment strategy of buying at the absolute market floor. As Detroit experienced its modern renaissance, the valuation of his underlying land assets surged. Furthermore, Coleman became an essential liaison between private capital and municipal development programs, navigating zoning laws and securing city contracts to rebuild communities. He utilized his inherent social capital to broker deals that out-of-state developers simply could not access. His wealth today is rooted in brick, mortar, and community equity, proving that a true financial comeback requires returning to your foundational roots and literally owning the block. Number 7. Jalen Rose. In the modern digital and broadcasting economy, visibility is an asset class of its own, and Jalen Rose has monetized that visibility with surgical precision. As a foundational member of the iconic Fab Five at the University of Michigan and a legendary product of Detroit's Southwestern High School, Rose entered the national consciousness as a cultural disruptor. Over a lengthy NBA career, he secured roughly $100 million in player contracts. Yet, his inclusion on this list is driven by how he leveraged that initial capital to construct a multifaceted media and educational infrastructure. Unlike many former players who view broadcasting as a casual retirement hobby, Rose approached the media industry as an executive scaling a brand. He spent over a decade as a cornerstone of ESPN's premier NBA coverage, hosting daily syndicated national radio and television programs. Broadcasting at this elite tier guarantees high seven-figure annual salaries, but more importantly, it provides a daily, internationally broadcasted commercial for the Jalen Rose enterprise. He meticulously retained ownership of his brand identity, eventually launching his own multimedia production ventures to control his intellectual property. However, the most formidable expression of his wealth is not purely financial, it is institutional. In 2011, he founded the Jalen Rose Leadership Academy, JRLA, an open enrollment, public charter high school located in his hometown of Detroit. Operating a large-scale educational facility requires navigating a labyrinth of state funding, private endowments, and massive operational budgets. Rose did not merely attach his name to a building. He serves as the president of the board of directors, actively raising millions of dollars in philanthropic capital to ensure zero tuition costs for his students. He utilizes his vast network of corporate sponsors, billionaire team owners, and media titans to funnel elite resources into Detroit's youth. Rose represents a unique archetype of wealth, the cultural architect. He has diversified his portfolio across Los Angeles real estate, media equity, and institutional philanthropy, demonstrating that true leverage is the ability to shape the minds of the next generation while operating at the highest levels of global sports media. Number 6. Chauncey Billups. In the high-stakes arena of elite professional basketball, Chauncey Billups was universally feared and revered as Mr. Big Shot, a cerebral point guard who executed flawlessly under immense pressure. When the 2004 NBA Finals MVP transitioned from the hardwood to the boardroom, he applied that exact same analytical, low-emotion, high-execution methodology to his personal investment portfolio. Billups recognized early on that athletic salaries, while massive, are inherently finite. To secure multi-generational wealth, he needed an economic engine that generated daily, predictable, and highly scalable cash flow. He found that engine in the lucrative, unglamorous world of quick-service restaurant (QSR) franchising. Rather than attempting to launch a brand-new, highly risky culinary concept from scratch, Billups partnered with Ulysses Jr. Bridgman, a former NBA player who quietly became a billionaire through franchise operations. Leveraging Bridgman's elite mentorship and operational blueprints, Billups acquired a massive portfolio of Wendy's franchise locations across the country, particularly concentrated in the Midwest. The economics of fast food franchising at this scale are staggering. By owning the regional distribution rights and multiple physical locations, Billups captures millions in annual, recession-resistant revenue. When the broader economy falters, fast food revenues typically stabilize or increase, providing an ironclad hedge against the volatility of his other investments. Simultaneously, Billups refused to abandon the lucrative earning potential of the NBA itself. He successfully transitioned into high-level coaching and executive roles, culminating in his position as the head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers. Head coaching contracts in the modern NBA routinely command between $4 to $8 million annually, fully guaranteed over multiple years. By layering these massive coaching salaries on top of his quietly compounding fast food empire, Billups operates with dual-engine financial momentum. He also sits on the advisory boards of various sports technology startups, taking equity positions in the data analytics revolution currently sweeping professional sports. Billups is the ultimate pragmatic tycoon, proving that the smartest path to sustained wealth often involves skipping the flashy startup phase and investing directly into proven cash-flowing systems that America consumes every single day. Number 5. Joe Dumars. Wealth in professional sports is typically categorized by flashy endorsements and massive signing bonuses. However, there is a hidden, significantly more powerful tier of wealth: institutional executive leverage. Joe Dumars, the legendary architect of the Detroit Pistons backcourt and a defining pillar of the Bad Boys era, operates exclusively within this upper echelon. After earning tens of millions during his Hall of Fame playing career, Dumars did not pivot to broadcasting or localized franchising. He ascended directly into the highest executive ranks of global basketball operations. His initial post-playing maneuver was both ambitious and grounded in real estate. He developed the Joe Dumars Fieldhouse, a massive, state-of-the-art indoor sports and entertainment complex located in Shelby Township, just outside of Detroit. Operating a facility of this immense scale, featuring multiple basketball courts, roller hockey rinks, and corporate event spaces, requires substantial overhead but generates highly lucrative year-round revenue through league fees, corporate sponsorships, and retail concessions. It established Dumars as a major commercial real estate operator in the Michigan ecosystem, transforming his athletic legacy into a physical, profitable destination. But Dumars' true financial and operational genius was revealed in the front office. He served as the president of basketball operations for the Detroit Pistons for over a decade, architecting the 2004 NBA championship roster. Elite NBA, Presidents command absolute premium executive compensation packages, often heavily incentivized with profit-sharing mechanisms tied to franchise valuation growth. Under his tenure, the Pistons remained one of the most profitable and culturally relevant franchises in the league. Today, Dumars has reached the absolute summit of sports governance, serving as the executive vice president and head of basketball operations for the entire NBA. In this role in the league office, he holds immense regulatory and operational power over a multi-billion-dollar global industry. He navigates international television rights, collective bargaining parameters, and global expansion strategies. Dumars' wealth is categorized by profound institutional authority. He doesn't just play the game, and he doesn't just own a team. He is part of the corporate oligarchy that manages the entire global sport. Number 4. Chris Webber. Chris Webber's financial trajectory is a masterclass in aggressive industry disruption. As a defining member of the cultural phenomenon that was the Michigan Fab Five and a Detroit Country Day high school legend, Webber was earmarked for greatness long before he ever set foot on an NBA court. Over a stellar 15-year professional career, Webber amassed nearly $180 million in pure salary. While many athletes would retire comfortably on municipal bonds and index funds, Webber aggressively pivoted into the highly volatile, massively lucrative realm of private equity, specifically targeting the exploding cannabis sector. Webber recognized a profound economic and social disparity. As the legal cannabis industry rapidly expanded into a multi-billion-dollar domestic market, minority entrepreneurs were being systematically excluded from the profits due to a lack of institutional capital and complex regulatory hurdles. In response, Webber co-founded Webber Wild Impact Fund, an elite private equity initiative armed with $100 million in capital backing. This fund is surgically designed to invest in companies led by entrepreneurs of color within the cannabis ecosystem. By operating as a general partner in a $100 million private equity vehicle, Webber transitioned from an athlete collecting checks to a financier deploying massive capital allocations. His commitment to this sector is heavily rooted in his hometown. In 2021, Webber broke ground on the Webber Wellness Compound, a sprawling $50 million state-of-the-art cannabis cultivation, training, and retail facility located in Detroit's historic Corktown neighborhood. This is not a mere endorsement deal. This is heavy industrial real estate and vertical integration. The facility is engineered to control the entire supply chain, from raw agricultural cultivation to direct-to-consumer retail distribution. Furthermore, Webber launched his own luxury cannabis brand, Players Only, partnering with other high-net-worth athletes to capture the premium lifestyle market segment. Beyond cannabis, Webber owns a vast portfolio of luxury real estate across the country, operates his own film production company, and continues to earn lucrative broadcasting fees. He is a financial pioneer who recognized that the greatest modern wealth transfers occur at the bleeding edge of newly legalized industries. Number 3. Isiah Thomas. Isiah Thomas, the undisputed leader of the Detroit Pistons' back-to-back championship dynasty, was notoriously known as the smiling assassin on the court. He brought that exact same charming, yet ruthlessly competitive energy into the world of international business. Thomas does not simply invest in companies. He builds complex, multinational holding structures. As the chairman and CEO of ISIAH International, LLC, he presides over a vast, diversified corporate empire that spans from global agriculture to European luxury goods. The crown jewel of his holding company is Cheurlin Champagne. Most celebrities who enter the liquor business operate through superficial licensing agreements, slapping their name on a white-labeled bottle in exchange for a small percentage of royalties. Thomas completely rejected this model. He traveled directly to the Champagne region of France and secured the exclusive United States importing rights for Cheurlin, a historic vineyard that has been producing authentic champagne since 1788. By controlling the exclusive import logistics and national distribution networks, Thomas captures the absolute maximum profit margins on every single bottle sold in North America. He supplies massive sports arenas, luxury hotel chains, and high-end restaurants, converting a sophisticated European asset into a massive domestic cash cow. His portfolio diversity is staggering. He was an early major investor in Popcorn, Indiana, recognizing the high-margin potential of the premium snack food market before successfully exiting the venture. Most recently, Thomas took on the role of CEO for One World Pharma, a massive, fully licensed supplier of raw cannabis and hemp ingredients based in Colombia. Operating in Colombia allows the company to leverage significantly lower agricultural production costs while scaling up to supply the exploding global medical cannabis market. He is bridging South American agriculture with global pharmaceutical demands. Thomas's wealth is incredibly complex and internationally insulated. He has seamlessly transitioned from a Hall of Fame point guard to a global commodities broker, navigating international tariffs, European luxury markets, and global supply chains with the exact same precision he used to dismantle NBA defenses. Number 2. Dave Bing. Long before the modern era of astronomical NBA contracts, Dave Bing was laying the absolute blueprint for post-athletic industrial wealth. A Detroit Pistons legend who dominated the league in the late 1960s and 1970s, Bing played during an era where superstar salaries barely cracked the low six figures. To achieve true, world-changing wealth, Bing knew he had to build something tangible, heavy, and essential. He looked at the city of Detroit, the undisputed automotive capital of the world, and realized that the true power didn't lie in designing the cars, but in supplying the raw materials that built them. In 1980, utilizing a modest loan and an unbreakable work ethic, he founded Bing Steel. He entered an industry that was notoriously insular, hyper-competitive, and heavily dominated by legacy, multi-generational white families. Bing leveraged his pristine local reputation to secure initial, small-scale contracts, but his operational excellence quickly allowed the business to scale exponentially. Bing Steel eventually evolved into the Bing Group, a massive manufacturing conglomerate that provided stamped metal parts, complex automotive seating, and heavy industrial materials directly to the big three automakers: General Motors, Ford, and Chrysler. At its absolute peak, the Bing Group employed over 1,000 workers across multiple manufacturing facilities in Detroit and generated annual revenues well in excess of $300 million. This was not brand endorsement wealth. This was heavy, industrial, blue-collar empire building. Bing navigated grueling union negotiations, global steel pricing fluctuations, and brutal automotive recession cycles. He became a titan of industry in one of the most unforgiving economic environments in American history. His financial success granted him immense political and social capital, eventually leading him to be elected as the mayor of Detroit in 2009, tasked with steering the city through its darkest financial hour. Dave Bing's inclusion on this list is mandatory because he proved that a black athlete could transition into the grueling world of heavy manufacturing and build a nine-figure industrial monopoly from absolute scratch. Number 1. Vinnie Johnson. We have arrived at the absolute zenith of post-NBA wealth, a financial narrative so staggering it eclipses almost every other business story in modern sports history. Vinnie Johnson, affectionately known as the Microwave, for his ability to instantly heat up and score off the bench for the bad boys Pistons, applied that same explosive acceleration to the global automotive industry. Following his retirement from basketball in 1992, Johnson didn't seek out broadcasting deals or restaurant franchises. He founded the Piston Group in 1995, embarking on a corporate journey that would ultimately crown him as one of the most powerful and wealthiest black industrialists on the planet. Johnson recognized a massive shift occurring in the automotive sector. Major car manufacturers were desperately looking to outsource complex assembly processes to streamline their own operations. He capitalized on this trend by establishing a company focused on value-added assembly. The Piston Group does not just stamp metal. They build highly complex, fully integrated cooling modules, interior console systems, and advanced aerodynamic components. They literally assemble the critical nervous systems of the vehicles produced by Ford, Stellantis, Honda, and General Motors. To achieve this scale, Johnson operated as a ruthless, brilliant corporate tactician. He didn't just grow organically. He aggressively acquired his competitors. He purchased massive established entities like Irvin Automotive and Detroit Thermal Systems, vertically integrating their capabilities into his holding company. Today, the Piston Group is one of the largest minority-owned businesses in the entire world. They operate sprawling, state-of-the-art manufacturing facilities across the Midwest, employing thousands of engineers, technicians, and assembly line workers. The revenue figures are almost incomprehensible for a former sixth man. The Piston Group consistently reports annual revenues rapidly approaching $3 billion. Let that absolute scale sink in. $3 billion. While his exact personal net worth is shielded by the private nature of his corporation, financial analysts conservatively estimate Johnson's wealth well into the high hundreds of millions, positioning him firmly on the trajectory towards certified billionaire status. Vinnie Johnson did not just build a company, he engineered a globally indispensable manufacturing monopoly. He reigns at number one because he took the hard-nosed, relentless work ethic of the Detroit Pistons and weaponized it to conquer the global automotive supply chain, cementing a legacy of wealth that will echo for generations. From local real estate revitalization to $3 billion automotive manufacturing empires, these icons prove that the ultimate victory in Detroit happens long after the final buzzer. They took the relentless grit of the Motor City hardwood and weaponized it for the boardroom, redefining what athletic wealth truly looks like. Which of these staggering financial pivots surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. If you want more cinematic deep dives into the empires of the elite, subscribe to Black Status and like this video. See you next time.